Breaking news. Thor Love and Thunder, aka Thor 4, is the best Marvel movie since Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse of Madness, allegedly, based on early reviews. But I'm very skeptical about these early reviews. So, yo, what is freaking good YouTube Warstu here? If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, pop culture-based content that we do on a daily basis. If you could subscribe, comment, and like the video, it really helps the channel get pushed out to the YouTube algorithm. And if you could, follow us on Twitter, WarstuG. I've got like 12 followers. It'd be much appreciated. And if you want to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice, check us out on Instagram at Warstu. We are less than 50 followers away from 23,000 followers on Instagram, so it would be much appreciated. Right, let's get into this video. So, the world premiere of Thor Love and Thunder has happened, and I think it's going to be a very controversial movie, because people are saying, if you like Ragnarok, you're gonna like this one. But this one apparently is quite funny. But Gorr, the god butcher, is supposed to butcher all the gods. He's supposed to be a freaking savage. He's supposed to be a monster. He's supposed to torture people. He's supposed to kill everyone and make their life a living hell. But based on what I've been told, that really isn't the case. So, we're going to go over the post-credit scene, the ending, and some details that have come out about this movie. So, careful for spoilers. I don't want to ruin your life, but why would this ruin your life? So, let's just get this one out. So, Tom Hiddleston is Loki. How can you have a Thor movie without Loki? Well, allegedly, Loki isn't actually in this movie from most people I've spoke to. But I spoke to someone that's like, yeah, he's in it, but it's a flashback scene. So, as far as I know, I don't believe Tom Hiddleston Loki is in this movie, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but it kind of does make sense because Taika Waititi came out and said something very weird to say before your movie comes out to the whole audience. I mean, sure, people have seen it at press screeners and things like that, but it's not publicly out there, as in you can go watch it. I hate when directors and screenwriters start spouting nonsense about the movie, which blatantly gives away spoilers. So, what actually was said, and why is it so bad? Well, okay, I took a massive L, guys. I took the biggest L ever. I said there would be components of a multiversal-based story in Thor 4 because I had faith in Taika Waititi. I honestly thought he would smash it. No, he still might smash it. But to come out and say this movie has no multiversal elements before your movie comes out, I mean, even if it is true, I believe it is true, and I believe Thor Love and Thunder doesn't have any multiversal elements. But to come out and say that before your movie is even released is the biggest freaking spoiler ever, if you ask me. It really is. It's like a ridiculous statement to come out and say before your movie comes out. So what did he actually say exactly? And this is why it's confirmed Loki is not in the movie. So he was responding to a question about Thor Love and Thunder director responds to multiverse theories. And he's basically squashed it all in the Total Film article. And he says this: well, Taika Waititi certainly likes the idea of the multiverse. He confirmed that there is nothing like that in this film. Even go as far to say it's the singular verse. This comes after a synopsis for Thor Love and Thunder, April 2022. So it's literally like, yeah, this movie doesn't connect to anything, retro speaking. I mean, going forward, it could do. Stands apart from other Marvel films due to its use of the love plot. And it's clearly not going to redefine love in superhero movies because there's been many great loves in superheroes movies, but it kind of seems nonsensical to me for a director to come up like, yo, yeah, the multiverse doesn't exist in this movie, which directly does tell you that no Loki can appear because it's the multiverse Loki, isn't it? It's Loki from the Loki series, which isn't the OG Loki that died in Infinity War. It's the Loki from the multiverse. So, careful for spoilers. I don't want to ruin your life. So, I've been asked a lot of times, and for some reason it wasn't made clear in a previous video that I did. So, Gorr, the God Butcher, dies. But it's how he dies. So, Jane Foster also dies. They are going with the cancer storyline, and Thor figures this out through the movie, and essentially for Thor, he has to realistically get over the loss of Jane Foster again after they have a rekindling cosmic love journey into taking out Gorr the God Butcher. So essentially what will happen, some cadence of it will be Jane Foster essentially gives Thor her powers and Mjolnir in the end to defeat Gorr. Now, there's some variants of it. What happens is Jane Foster dies, Gorr sees this, and it really takes him back. He doesn't want to kill no longer. He doesn't want to kill any more gods. And then this part here, to me, so, I mean, I believe it because I've had it verified by multiple people. So Gorr dies, and then Gorr's daughter randomly appears, and Thor and Gorr's daughter go on and have some crazy adventures, presumably going forward into the cosmic sphere of this universe. And also, it's worth saying that Captain Marvel doesn't appear in this movie as well. She's cosmic. It would have made sense if she did appear, but it would make more sense if she appears in Secret Invasion, because Secret Invasion and the Mark coincide with each other. And yes, the final post-credit scene is Hercules is coming for Thor, which is rather interesting because Thor's just going to decimate him anyway when that does happen, because now he is Omega level Thor. Now he's got Jane Foster's mighty Thor's power as well as Thor's power. He's literally just taken out a god butcher. And you think little Hercules, and it's kind of funny because Hercules is supposed to be majorly hench, and no, this is not body shaming or anything like that, but I presume when they go down the Hercules versus Thor storyline, said actor will be much bigger, but Thor is like an absolute tank compared to the actor who is playing Hercules. And that essentially is how the movie ends. Post-credit scene, Jane dies in order for Thor to take Gorr out. Gorr doesn't want to kill anymore, and then magically his daughter appears, and then Thor and Gorr's daughter go on some magical adventures, which does kind of sound really far-fetched if you ask me, and it does sound like a massive miss in this movie because it seems like the movie isn't taking itself too seriously. Now, when it's Gorr the God Butcher, he literally kills everyone, so allegedly this movie is going to start with a backstory of Gorr, but it's not as epic as his actual origin or depiction in the comics, but it is this general same story, but it's more grounded. It sounds like they've just MCU'd it pretty much. It does sound like they've MCU'd it. So also there are some tidbits that says this. There is a flashback montage battle scene at the beginning, and the person that said this didn't know the exact time, but no more than 5 to 10 minutes. They were generally asking how long the Guardians of the Galaxy would be in the movie, but yeah, I mean, we've seen in the trailer, it looks like it happens directly after Endgame, because obviously it's Thor with the beard, and you know, Fat Thor kind of looks like the Thor right at the end of Endgame, sorry. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to watching it, and people are like, yo, why do you ruin the movie for yourself? This is not ruining the movie. Literally, I have not ruined anything that I didn't already know. So I do find this very interesting. The tidbits that are coming out about this movie are kind of making me less hyped about it, because the early reactions all seem pretty generic. It's like, it all seemed like everyone's saying, yeah, it's an average okay movie at best, because the problem is, when you go to a press screen or something like that, you feel obliged to actually say positive stuff, but just wait for the actual review to come out. The review embargo lifts a couple of days before the movie comes out, and go back and cross-reference their early reaction or TikTok video or Instagram video or YouTube video, cross-reference what their review says with a reaction, and then see if they actually line up. Because most of the time, the reactions are overhyped to get your little quote on the trailer or on the posters they release much closer. I know how the game works. I know how it is. It just is what it is. They're not being dishonest, but they're not being as honest as they could be with their initial thoughts, because the more you hype up something, the more likely you are to get your name on a trailer or on a poster. Trust me, I know how it works. So I do think this will be a good movie. But the fact that Taika Waititi came out and said, yeah, there's no multiverse story, it's like, okay, that basically confirms Loki won't be in this. No intertwined connection. It's a standalone verse, which is a really weird thing to say. They've kind of dumbed down Gorr. I mean, Zeus doesn't die. I mean, not that I wanted Zeus to die, but the fact that Zeus doesn't die and Jane Foster does die and Gorr die. I mean, everyone's saying how Christian Bale nails the role. Then you kill him off. then you kill him off. But that does make sense because I presume Christian Bale only signed up for one movie, but why kill him off? It's alright, everyone going, yeah, he's the best villain, he's better than Thanos. And he's literally going to be killed off within one movie, and because there's no multiverse in this movie, it's not like he can be brought back. So he very well could be an immense, great villain, but you've literally killed him off after one appearance. I mean, it might be cool to see Gorr's daughter. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm honest and transparent. I'm not the biggest comic book guy. I'm pretty sure Gorr had a son in the comics, but they do change things. I get it, because if they didn't change things, then you would literally know word for word what is coming up. And why would you want to watch something if you knew exactly what was coming up? It was like Adam Warlock, Lady Death should have appeared in Infinity War / Endgame. So I get why they do it, but Gorr's a freaking savage, and it doesn't seem like that's the case. So there is an article that says, is Thor 4 better than Ragnarok? Here's what critics had to say. And guys, critics, very loosely, I go to a lot of these events. I've been to a lot of Marvel, DC, Disney, Universal, Paramount Pictures. I can keep going. Screeners, and realistically, most of the people attending it, they aren't really critics. They're just a friend of a friend. I saw Thor Love and Thunder. It can't quite match the visuals or comedy bombastic of Ragnarok, but Taika Waititi makes up for it with the emotional, mature Marvel movie. It's also very funny. Nasty's got jokes, features one of the most visually stunning sequences in MCU. Now, I personally don't think this should be a funny movie at all. It is literally the God Butcherer. He has to kill. He has to be a freaking savage. So, someone over at Discussion Film said this: gets better when it's not trying to desperately recapture the magic of Ragnarok. Yeah, because everyone says Ragnarok is literally one of the best Marvel movies. I love it. So, Eric Goldham at Fandom. I don't think it's quite as great as Ragnarok, but that's Thor Love and Thunder. Comes incredibly close. Interesting. Awards Radar, Joey. Thor's film similarities, saying Thor Love and Thunder, more evidence that Taika Waititi knows how to make Thor a blast. And as long as it's a cool movie, it's a cool movie, but they don't need to dumb down Gorr's powers. A lot of people I've spoken to behind the scenes have said it could have done with a bit more time. Gorr needed a bit more of his character fleshed out, and they kind of rushed through it, but I don't know, because that's just me alliterating what someone else said. So, a film critic called Scott said this: Thor movie was even better than Ragnarok. Thor Love and Thunder is a total blast. Even better than Ragnarok. One of the best MCU movies ever. Chris Hemsworth is a freaking rock star. Natalie Portman is a total badass. Taika Waititi has done it again. And Love and Thunder is awesome. Now, these reactions are cool, but they all keep saying the same thing. So I'm not I've been to these kind of events, lads and ladettes. I'll tell you 100. I'm not buying it. But let's just wait until it comes out. Then we can have an open discussion. And then we do a breakdown. And we'll break down. And I'll go over what I think of the movie when it comes out. So I'm very much looking forward to it. Hopefully this video's cleared up some tidbits and some information that's come out recently. I wanted to clear up because a lot of people are getting confused about the previous video I did talking about the post-credit scene and the ending, because I didn't go into too much detail about how Gorr dies and the ramifications and why Jane Foster dies, essentially. She dies so Thor can take out Gorr. And Gorr doesn't want to kill anymore, and he just wants to be a cool dude and all this kind of stuff, I guess you could say in a roundabout way. And then his daughter magically reappears from somewhere. I presume she's dead already, like previously in the prologue or the origin story that we're going to get for Gorr's alien race. Hopefully we get a lot of origin stories. So likewise, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu. If you want to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice, check us out on Twitter, WarstuG, and I will catch you in another video, guys, very soon. Catch you later.